Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's gone! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came and stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds. Just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question. I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
Good morning,
Hey,
and
Stan Waters, go fuck yourself.
I just struck out another batter.
Yeah, Stan, 1, 2, 3, punch out. You let me know if you want to know how to work the fucking Ethernet cameras in here, brother. It's not easy.
Yep. And guess what? My name's Kade Anderson, and I'm going to go ahead and pitch tonight, too, if that's okay with everybody.
What's another 140 more?
Yeah, who cares? Strike out 13, 14 more. Go make it happen, Kade.
That's what ace shit is.
How do I look? I look good?
Dominant.
I look like an ace? I look like I just spanked Oklahoma on a Thursday night for 9 straight innings, 14 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, shutout.
CG.
Shout out to Kade Anderson, man.
CG. KA.
Legend himself. Look at this. Kade Anderson is not moved by your poverty lineup. Was that the saying?
I don't know.
He's going to stay right here.
Cage stays.
Kade's going to stay and watch.
Until next Thursday.
Until
or
next
Friday.
Thursday.
Don't
Until
matter.
next Friday.
Until tonight. I got more in the tank.
I bet you he does. I mean, he was fired up. He got that strikeout in the 8th, and he had more juice than you could imagine. And I still didn't think they were going to throw him out there in the 9th. I was still surprised when he was back on the bump of the 9th. I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, oh, my God, they're putting him back out there again?
He didn't give you the opportunity to take him out.
Yeah.
That would say, we call it the old major league.
Uh-huh.
You got to deal from, not major league. It is the Rocket, Chicago Cubs. Henry Rowan Gardner. I don't know what the name of the movie is. Fantastic movie. Got to deal from the have to.
Yeah.
And Kade kept dealing from the have to. You saw Jay get on that first step, and he was looking. He was like, now in the 6th, now in the 7th, now in the 8th.
Kade said,
now in the 9th. Said, no. 135.
No,
We're good. You saved your bullpen.
Yeah, retire 15 of the last 16 in that game. Just an unbelievable performance.
Needed it.
From Kade Anderson last night when we're talking about How's the bullpen going to perform? What's everything going to look like this weekend? Throwing off what time? Screw it. Forget it. Let your ace go 9.
Away game.
135 pitches. How many scouts were there, Lloyd? How many scouts were in the stands? How many scouts?
If it weren't the scouts, it was the Yeti yard. 50 scouts were there.
Uh-huh.
The shifts be damned.
Yep.
And 50 scouts were there.
Come on.
Shout out Todd Walker. Love you to death, buddy. Thank you, Batman. But
Yeah.
50 scouts were there.
Hey, and 135 pitches were thrown. And I think 91 was the number. I think it was 91 strikes out of 135 pitches.
Which is incredible considering we were going to get into it, but considering how often he got down in counts and how early he got down in counts and still came back and
Literally. Like the start of that game, when we're going to, like Lloyd said, we're going to go more in depth. We'll also have John Eads at 8 a.m. to come in and talk about baseball as well. But, I mean, to get down in the counts like he was early in the game, I mean, first inning, bases loaded, 1 out. How do you get out of that jam, Lloyd?
strike everybody
Just
out.
strike everybody out.
He was setting them up. 50 scouts were there.
I mean,
you know what they like to see?
Strikeouts.
3 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, they like that. They like to see complete games thrown.
And to reset. Welcome in.
Yeah. Welcome in this morning here on the podcast that we are still working on the new name of. So
had an important meeting last night, did it?
Yes, perfect. And then still throw out your ideas or whatever. But good morning and welcome in. We appreciate you guys joining us bright and early this morning after a late night of LSU baseball. Good news day yesterday. We were talking yesterday about how, we're having to talk about past LSU football and all these other things because it's kind of been a slow news week. Screw that. I mean, we had a great news day yesterday. Flau'jae Johnson announces that she's returning. Not much of a surprise.
Big foe.
Not much of a surprise. We assumed that was going to be the case. Big Four's returning. Big Foe coming back, not going to the WNBA. A lot of people in the comments were saying, why would she take a pay cut? And rightfully so. She will be back at LSU next year. I'll go more in depth on that because I can't understate how massive of a decision that is, not just for her sake at LSU and the way she's going to be able to perform, but what it's going to do for the next generation of LSU Tigers on that women's basketball team. Men's basketball, Whiskey Bay in the chat. Whiskey's happy this morning as LSU men's basketball they finally get their white guy, Lloyd.
Yes.
Me and Lloyd were talking about
that was all fair. That was all fair.
Yeah, I know. LSU basketball needs some shooters. I said it yesterday, I think. I want somebody that's shooting 38, 39, 41. And guess what? There's your 41%, Max McKinnon from Portland. 6'6". Some people in the chat, go Tigers, and Brian. She never announced she was coming back to LSU. It was reported yesterday that she is coming back. She is foregoing the WNBA draft.
Not from our guy Talk.
Do what? Not from Tick. Tick got banned from the Twitter sphere for his little joke, the on-3 Tanaya Latson joke he played on April Fool's. But there was a 48-hour window with the WNBA draft, and it appears that window has passed. But, I mean, Flau'jae running it back with LSU is going to be huge.
I think it would have been big news had she declared for the draft.
Yes. I think it would have been more of a surprise.
It would have been reported on.
Yes.
As opposed to returning. If the due date is indeed done.
Yeah,
right?
I think the due date was Tuesday. That was the deadline. Go Tigers. I don't know if that's exactly why he got banned, but that's my thought. But yeah, back on topic with Max McKinnon. Shot 41% from 3 last year at Portland. Averaged about 16 or so points. He's 6'6", got good size. But I mean, you know what he's here to do. Like he's not coming in to be a combo guard that's going to be crossing everybody over, taking it coast to coast. He's got skill. He can finish at the rim, but he shot 41% from 3. He can catch and shoot that thing, and that I have a feeling is going to be his job. Now, they still need to go out and get some more, but it was nice to see a 41% three-point shooter getting added to Matt McMahon's team as he continues his run in the transfer portal this season. But, yeah, good news day yesterday, and then obviously all of that turns into what was an epic performance last night by Kade Anderson in Norman, Oklahoma at 6 p.m. as he got on the bump. Got off to a rocky start in the first inning, got in a little bit of a jam with like I said, bases loaded, 1 out after he walks a batter and struck the next 2 out. And after that, there were still some rocky spots in those first 2-3 innings. But after the third inning, in my opinion, he was absolutely locked in, like unbelievably impressive. From the 4th inning to the 9th. I mean, even the 7th, 8th, and 9th when he went out there and was just dialed. Like, he went out there for the 8th, and I was watching it, and he had, I think, the last batter of the 8th inning. I think that's the one he struck out, if I'm not incorrect. And he goes fastball outside, like pinpointed the location. And I was like, he is feeling it, like absolutely dicing them up. And it was a very impressive night last night for LSU baseball. So a good news day for LSU yesterday. I think gymnastics had an impressive night last night as well.
They escaped Penn State.
Yes, they did. A good night for gymnastics last night as well. But can't bury the lead too much, and we didn't, obviously, as his face is right here staring at you. Complete game for Kade Anderson. There's a lot of things to talk about in the layers of a complete game. The first thing, obviously, is the performance. I mean, he goes out there. He throws 135 pitches. He strikes 14 guys out. He goes 9 innings, complete game, gives up 0 runs on 5 hits, gets you out of that first inning, gets you out of every inning after that in just what was an absolutely massive performance by Kade Anderson.
It might be undersold just because we've seen some legendary pitching performances before at LSU, whether it be, and this is in the last 3 years, whether it be Will Helmer's last year, like that should, if you win, that's a feather in the cap. That's like on the, not on the Mount Rushmore, but Mount Rushmore jar. It's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's definitely something that people would go look. Paul Skeens against Tulane. Ty Floyd in the national championship game
against Florida,
and Kade Anderson in 14 with 135 pitches in a game where you had to have it that way. Like, not only did it set you up for the weekend, but in an absolute pitcher's duel. We said it before the show. We said it before the game.
Final score was 2-0.
We were like, LSU can win a multitude of ways, and you saw it with Anthony Ianson, and now you see it with Kade Anderson in a full 5 days, and comes in and absolutely turned the lights out. Like, that was a shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been trying to say it. Like, we wanted to see him last year maybe in the rotation whenever you're looking for a Sunday guy. There were conversations about why not Kade Anderson, and he said it himself when we had him on this year. He's like, I didn't have that third pitch yet. And to have the velo he has from the left-hand side and be able to maneuver the strike zone, he did. And also, the reason you could say 4 days, 5 days, whatever, last week, his last start, he got squeezed. This time he's getting a little bit of a nibble.
Yeah.
And he's got Luis Hernandez back there absolutely being a stopper. So I can throw the big bender in without a worry, or I can just not let anybody on base, not give up any runs, and hope my offense can get one across. Because that was a pitcher's duel. That's what we talked about.
Right.
That's why there was 50 scouts there. But it was an absolute pitcher's duel, and I thought that the Oklahoma starter would shut LSU down in a sense because he is that good.
Right.
But if you don't have a regular season all-time performance from Kade Anderson, I don't know if you're leaving 1-0 at the ballpark at 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and you're able to get 2 runs across, and one would have got the job done because of the way Anderson went out there and played. Lloyd said it yesterday, pitcher's duel, be prepared. LSU was able to win one with Ianson on the mound last Friday against Mississippi State in a 2-1 game. And then last night in a 2-0 victory, LSU takes down Oklahoma. I just completely lost the name of the team.
Yeah, nameless faces.
Yeah, they took down Oklahoma behind, this performance from Kade. Just all
the strikeouts.
Just sit back and watch. Yep.
He had everything working. And even when he got himself into trouble, that's why the pitch count got up to the number that it did. Is because he was working. He was a strikeout pitcher last night. He would get behind in counts, would work himself out of it. And like we talked about at the beginning of the show, there were times when it felt like go get him. Like Zach Cowan got into the bullpen, and we don't have the luxury of LSU where it's hidden from everybody. It was like very apparent. Like Cowan was getting going. They were going to stick to the game plan, and then Kade Anderson goes out and retires 12 straight.
Yeah, 15 of the last 16.
It's crazy work.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and college baseball, you don't see that.
Ever. I mean, and that's going to bring up the conversation of right. People were talking about the right or wrong decision. And you're able to. You needed a zero on the board on the other end, and you had a guy that was absolutely dialed in, rocking. Do you love your ace throwing 135 pitches?
You didn't have to throw for 5 days. You can go play golf for all I care.
Yeah, and he's about to go, and he's got a longer week now because he doesn't pitch until next Friday. So I mean, he's got 8 days until his next performance. But I mean, 9 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, no runs.
Complete game, 5 hit, shutty. The biggest thing to me is the 2 walks.
Right.
Because he, like we said, he did get behind in counts, but he battled back every time and then would come and slit your throat. Like the strikeout pitch was there. Everything he did was ace stuff. It there's times in people's careers that you look back on and go, that was it.
Yeah.
Because you've been having the conversation about when you see aces on Friday or the game 1, whatever it is. Like Paul Skeens had it where I have no doubt about what's going to happen tonight.
Right.
And it's not really because of the stuff. It's the mentality. Kade Anderson had that. And you heard Todd Walker talk about it last night, who pointed out, and he's played against 1 million of them, that when you see it, and he's played with 1 million of them, but like when you see it, it's like, I know his stuff is good. I know he's supposed to be here. Does he know he's supposed to be here? Like, it's on you now.
Right.
And then when you bail yourself out the way he did a couple times with back-to-back strikeouts in the first, you're like, oh, shit. Like, give me one, boys, because they weren't sniffing him.
No, I mean, he makes a couple plays on the mound. I mean, he rips a fastball to Jared Jones to get a put out at first. And I think it was the 7th, one of the later innings. There's also a nice double play. Dickinson makes the grab, flips it over to Jared Jones for the double play to get out of 1 inning.
Yeah, that was a bore at base running.
Yes.
I don't know what he was thinking, but that also, when I watched it, I was thinking, I guess you don't know how good LSU's defense is. Like, not a lot. Like I said, if you're watching college baseball, it's not that easy. But LSU's right place, right time, all of the time. Whether if you want to bitch about the shift or not, you can. But that was hit straight to Daniel Dickinson, which put him in position to make an easy turn and throw. And he's got a rocket at second, which is what we talked about with Milam last year, who now plays short. Like, they're loaded on the infield. And to have somebody with that amount of wherewithal know where everybody is, inning, out, what we have to do here. If it's hit right to me, where do I go? The guy took 2 steps too many, and it's an immediate throw and catch, and you're out the inning.
Yeah. Glimmer Fredette in the chat. I love when stoic guys like him get fired up and show emotion. It really carries everyone else. I mean, that's my favorite part. When a guy that's as, like usually stone cold, locked in like Kade is, and then he gets to that 7th inning and he gets out of he gets another strikeout, like his 10th or whatever, and he gets him swinging and he fist pump, screaming, pounding his chest, getting to the dugout. I mean, just an all-time performance last night by Kade Anderson, and it set you up well for the weekend. But before we get into that, Lloyd, I do have one question for you. I know we've talked about, it was the right keep him in the game. He's locked in. He's got the long week. Is there any concern in your mind, because this was all over the social media verse last night? He threw 135 pitches. Very uncommon in today's day and age to go a complete game in general, but especially 135 pitches. Where do you stand on that discussion?
General consensus would be the coach asks the player, how do you feel? Can you go? They're always going to say yes. So you can't really take that. If he ever said no, then you would absolutely pull him. There were moments in that game where you looked at and go, yeah, go get him. Go get him. And he got to the top step. He had people warming up, and he bailed himself out. And then when you get on the streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, 10 in a row, 11 in a row. All right, give him the shutty. Like, he wants it. And I know the pitch count is high. You've seen pitchers be able to do it. It's up to the guy that's pitching. Like, I don't know how else to say it. He has a bond with Yetsky, who people apparently hate. I don't know if you hate him right now after you've won 2 games. What? 2 out of your last 6, 4-1. 4-1. Pitching coach is bad though. Fire him.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah, Yetsky. Like, look him up. Yeah, they're terrible. Whenever Yetsky and Kade Anderson says the bond is closer than father and son. Like, who do you think got Kade Anderson from midweek to Friday night guy that quickly? And I know he's a draft-eligible sophomore. God loves LSU. But, I mean, at this point, when you got 50 scouts in the stands and you put up a performance like that, those are the people that are asking the questions, like, 135 is a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
But he showed he could do it. And you don't want to have to rely on that every time because LSU has proven they have guys that can follow you up on the back end, but it sets you up for a sweep. Like, there's no bones about it. It's not go take 2 out of 3. It's not go burn Cowan and Evans in the same game. It's go play the exact game that you just played with last weekend, where you had – now you get to bump it back a day, and now that sets you up for Game 3.
Right.
Where you can go, Ianson, and trust him to go deeper as you just trusted Anderson to go deeper. These guys are major league quality pitchers. Let them get comfortable. And then now you have Zach Cowan on the back end for him. And if you want to bump back the way that you've been rolling it out, now you have Casey Evans on Game 3. That you can do it with Chase Shorts, which is, in the perfect world, perfect.
In a perfect world, it is perfect. I mean, it sets you up so well. I mean, just thinking about the fact that you have your next 2 starters, obviously, and then you have your entire bullpen for the rest of the weekend. And in your bullpen consists of 2 guys that are absolute studs in Zach Cowan and Casey Evans. And you don't have to throw either of them last night. That keeps them both available for the next 2 games. Like Luke said, it sets you up for a sweep.
Right, and that might be me playing in too much into last night.
No, but I mean, you threw 1 pitcher last night.
And the way they've set it up, like this, it just makes sense. And the way that you were able to, and we said it before the series started, like, I don't know how good Oklahoma is.
Right.
And while Kade Anderson had a legacy game, that's the team that you can have a legacy game against. You took their best bullet, put up 2, and Luis Hernandez is not getting enough credit. 2 doubles last night.
Yep.
Like, was absolutely, he's swinging the hottest bat. Me and Jared Mitchell called me last night during the game. He was like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Because he was saying the way that LSU is currently constructed, and he said this on the show, so I'm not, like, airing any grievances. He's like, that's not how a lot of national championship teams are built, where you don't have one more guy that scares you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, behind, whether it be Dickinson, Bear Jones, and then you need one more to kind of like, damn, it's hard to get through this lineup to where everybody in this lineup can leave. And that's what he was saying. It's like, so I brought up 2023 when you have Dugas, Joe Bear, who at 25, Cade Beloso, Hayden Travinsky. Right. It just kept coming at you in waves. It doesn't quit. And, Dylan Cruz to start off at the top didn't hurt either.
Right.
But the way that lineup was constructed, that's why people don't like Milazzo. Because he was
take a breath.
Yeah, he's batting 240.
Right.
Everybody was hitting over 310 and had 10 jacks each, and maybe more. When you had Tommy White, don't forget him. Like, that lineup was stacked. This lineup is stacked in a different way to where everybody could run, and then you add one more kind of ace in the hole, and you might see Luis Hernandez move up in the lineup, and they switch this thing around to where we have Daniel Dickinson batting 7th or 5th, or if you put him 5th, then you have Milan batting 7th.
Right.
Like, and you saw Stanfield come up with big hits last night.
Ripped one.
He went oppo.
He went oppo. He didn't pull it.
I'd have lost so much money on that.
I was listening to that part on the radio call, and they said,
I had to rewind
Stanfield ripped one down the right field. I was like, the right field line
never happened.
He's ripping one down third base every time.
I was saying, if you're going to shift, just put somebody right behind third base, like the third baseman and the shortstop right behind him.
Right.
If we're going to shift, because he holy circle me every time to left field, but then he pushes one the other way. And He was also safe, by the way, for everybody that saw the first replay, whenever it was this
The
one.
first challenge, yep.
And then they went to a different view. But that man that was a ground ball to shortstop. He can move.
That is a routine play. And anyone else, it's not even close.
Shortstop thought he had a second to take, one more
he
extra
crow-hopped
hop.
twice.
Yes. Oh, shit.
But yeah, well, and I'm not even, I'm not the biggest fan of challenging a first base play to get, but in my eyes, I understood it in that moment because there was one out in the game, and you get Stanfield on.
You scored a run that inning.
And Jones lined up right behind him.
And Bear Jones goes the opposite way. You scored 2.
Yeah. Well, you would have scored 1. I mean, he'd have scored from first on Curiel's double.
Right. You would have scored 2
You'd have
if
scored 2
everything
runs in
plays
that
out
inning.
the same
Right.
way. But you also challenge it, and I understand the thought process behind don't waste the challenge that early.
Right, of course.
If Stanfield's saying he's safe, you ride
Trust him.
with your guy.
Yeah.
I don't care if he out saved. I don't care if it's by 2 feet. If he comes to the dugout and says,
check
it. Hey, you're my starting center fielder. I believe in your speed. You believe in your speed. Let's look at it. It's a good, teaching moment if you're wrong. But if you say you're safe, and I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's a belief moment. That's a guy that he's going to have to use.
Right.
Every game. He's your starting center fielder. You're going to see him for 62 games, maybe 70. And if he says, hey, coach believes in me, that goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And you see him hit one the other way.
Yeah, ripped one the other way, man.
Funny how baseball works.
It was beautiful. But yeah, LSU scores 2 runs off of 2 opposite field hits from Jones and Stanfield.
Mm-hmm.
As Bear, I tell you what, I was sitting there watching that at-bat when he hit the RBI single, and he fought back in the count, fouled some off, and then he sits and waits on that breaking ball.
Wasn't a breaking ball.
What was it, changeup?
No, it was a little cutter.
Okay.
Because Todd was saying the same thing. You can't throw him a fastball. You threw him a little two-seamer cutter, and it caught more of the middle of the plate than it should have. It wasn't a great pitch, but it's still a testament to Bear to shoot it the other way.
Yeah, sit back, wait on it.
Yeah, because it could have been anything.
Yes.
But it's a real testament to his ability.
His growth.
Yeah, to get better from his freshman year to his sophomore year to now his junior year, where he didn't have to be here, by the way. He draft eligible sophomore, comes back, and then for him to be able to develop like that with how many scouts?
I think it was 50.
50?
50 there.
50 scouts to see him shoot one the other way.
Right.
They're like, damn, he's a complete hitter.
And show the growth of, I'm down 1-2 in the count. And, his freshman year, that's a strikeout.
Oh,
because
10 out of 10 times.
He's leaning forward, waiting on a fastball, whatever, and he's striking out. Last year, he maybe battles back, but still, he has now grown into a complete hitter. And then later in the game, you have Hernandez hit a double, gets on base. I think Reeves bunts him over to third, and then Stanfield rips one the other way, 2-0, and that's all you needed because you had Kade Anderson on the bump to get you through.
Could have saved one.
Yeah, you didn't even need both runs to throw 9 shutout innings. It was a big-time performance from LSU last night.
Yeah, who do you think got the magic moment? I'd say one Kade Anderson.
This guy. Yeah, it was one of those performances that you're going to sit back and you're going to talk about. At the end of the season when it's all wrapped up, you're going to look back.
You might never talk about it again, or you might point back and look at it.
And you're going to be like, Kade Anderson proved he was that guy.
It'll be talked about again whenever it gets to nut cutting time.
Yeah.
It'll be like, Kade can go 9 and throw 135. Dude, love to see that again.
Right.
What did Ty Floyd throw? 120 in his 17 strikeout performance?
Yeah, 135. Skeens didn't throw in his complete game against Tua. Didn't throw that many pitches. He went out there 135 pitches. And you needed every single one of them.
If you think that's a problem, you have to watch how the game played out. You can't pull him.
No.
He was mowing people. As soon as he started to get going again, you'd be a fool.
Yeah, base runners, nobody's getting on base.
Yeah, I don't have a chance to take him out.
Yeah, when there was a point where I think it was the 9th or the 8th.
It was the
and
8th.
The TV
It
announced
was the end of the 7th going into the 8th, and I think one guy got on.
Yeah, and the announcers were like, they'll probably do it for Anderson after this inning if he gets out of this. And then, they might have said, and then the 8th inning starts, and you see him trot back out there, and you're like, and the next 6 batters were tired.
There was an opportunity to go. If you were worried about the pitch count, whatever, it would have been you can go Cowan for 1 inning, and then you can go Evans for 1 inning. But don't play with fire. That's how you can lose baseball games.
Right.
They can't sniff him. So don't put anybody else out. You know what the best thing that could have happened to Oklahoma? Kade Anderson come out that baseball game. They were trying to get him out. Whenever you're getting dominated by a starter, you want to run the pitch count up and hope to God they pull him. And Jay was like, prove it.
Yeah,
Make me take it tied up.
He had every single batter's number.
And you would have been a fool, like I said, to pull him in that moment just because of the way he was dealing. They couldn't sniff him. And when you have a starter dealing that way, or any pitcher dealing that way, keep going. One batter's not going to bother me because it'll just be tied. Then I can take you out. And I trust this offense enough against their bullpen to be able to do something.
Yep. And it sets
you up well. And I trust Cowan enough.
It sets you up well for the rest of the weekend. Andrew Messina, other than the first inning, Anderson didn't really have any stressful innings. No, I mean, that first inning was a little living on the edge, and he had a couple, he had another walk, he had a couple other things in those earlier innings, but they weren't stressful. That first inning was a little rocky. It was, bases loaded, 1 out. After that,
strikeout.
Roll on through to the end of the game, Kade.
And that's where I say, don't use the term lightly. Ace shit.
Yeah.
The moment, everything about it, this could get out of hand early wherever we talk about the inevitable 2.
Yes.
That could have happened very easily whenever they're keyed in on the pitcher that's throwing. I'm ready to give you my best stuff when you're trying to feel out a ballpark that you haven't pitched in before and kind of wonky scenario, give up 2, your offense is fine. And if you have Witherspoon on the other end, they'd have loved to get 2 runs.
Yeah.
Instead, Cade's locked in. Get me out of here, and then he does the Skeens hat tip at the top. You're like, oh, shit, we might be a Star Wars born. Mm-hmm.
Kimberly, that bases loaded pitching was masterful.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation a lot.
But masterful is correct.
But if you can get out of it, do as much as you want.
Yeah,
if you don't mind throwing 135. And was still throwing 92 in the 9th.
Yeah, no, he looked good. He didn't look fatigued. He didn't look like he was locked, loaded, and ready to roll through that game.
And a lot of the reason it felt like he wasn't fatigued, he didn't have to rely on that fastball a lot. He was getting the curveball over for strikes, which is, if you throw it the way he does, not the same amount of stress because he knows to get me over curveball where they're not looking for it.
Yeah.
So you can flip it in. It's not a 12-year-old throwing a curveball in Little League where it's going to hurt his arm. That's easy over the top, 12-6, get it in, and then you can start throwing fastball, and then you dictate the count.
Yeah.
And that's what LSU does so well on the offensive side is you don't get in a lot of those 1-2, 0-2 counts. And if they do, Curiel to start the game, struck out.
Right.
But it was, 0-1, 1-1, 2-2, 2-2, 2-2, strikeout. And it's I saw everything he has. You're doing the rest of the lineup a favor. That's a great leadoff at bat even if you didn't get on base. Don't see 3 pitches, see 6.
Right.
That's what you have to, Mikey talks about all the time. Take little wins. That's a little win for him, and he comes back up and laces a double.
Yeah, and he ends up being the go-ahead run, the game-winning run, as LSU
those felt
only
important.
Needed 1. Yeah, they were important, and they ended up not being as important as you maybe thought. At least the second one was because Kade Anderson didn't let anyone touch home plate on the other end.
There was a scare.
Yes, there was, but.
It's just a long strike.
It was almost. Keyword almost.
Long strike.
Big night for LSU baseball
Prayers
last
to
night.
all those suffering from the tornadoes.
Yes, the tornado. Lloyd put one on the screen yesterday. It was scary.
Foul ball. Hate that.
But big time performance last night from LSU. Sets them up well this weekend. Andrew Messina said in the chat earlier, OU also didn't use many pitchers. They didn't. But, they threw out their ace. And he gave up 2 runs that ended up being enough to win the game. And it puts LSU in a good spot with the arms they have. With Evans, with Cowan, Einstein going tonight. LSU's in a good spot for the rest of the weekend. So, great stuff last night for LSU baseball.
First complete game shutout since one of the best games in Alec Bach Alec Box of all time. Like a pitcher's duel, Sonny Gray
Right.
and Baton Rouge's own goes out there and they go 9 and I think 8 2/3. And LSU scratched across 1, but that was a pitching matchup that was against, I think it was Oklahoma. And it was
How about it?
2015 when you saw like a pitcher's duel. Like
Yeah.
you don't see that often in college
No.
baseball anymore. You've seen pitchers dominate, but that was a pitcher's duel into the 6th where, and we talked about it a little bit, where you were worried about Witherspoon. Like he has that kind of stuff.
Right.
Where you can get in a pretzel, and Kade says that I got more stuff. I got 4 more innings and more stuff.
Right, and then you look back to last Saturday, you had the same thing. A pitcher's duel between Pico de Gallo, Pico Cone, and Anthony Ianson.
Who'd you watch the game with?
And Anthony Ianson. Like that's 2 pitchers duels won in the span of a week. You know, in the span of 7 days, you've won a baseball game 2-1 and 2-0.
And now if you're a gambling man, you have to take the over. It's just how baseball works. The over-under last night, I think it was like 10.5.
Yeah.
2.
Yep. Well, I mean, in last week after the pitchers duel, the 2-1 game, LSU scores, 8 in the first inning against Mississippi State on Saturday last week. So, like we said, big time win for LSU. Sets them up well for the rest of the weekend, as they will go tonight against Oklahoma again.
God, LSU's going to start being like almost unbettable.
Yeah.
It was minus 190 yesterday. Took it, but
Right. Do we have any word on the weather? What the scheduling is going to be like? It's still planned to go as originally scheduled.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, because
Jay Johnson's not in control.
Right. They were talking
He'll have a
about
say.
potential
Doubleheader.
doubleheader, all these things, but right now, as it's scheduled, LSU at Oklahoma at 6:30 p.m. tonight. We will get to see Anthony Ianson on the bump. Cowan Evans still available for the Tigers this evening, looking to win the series tonight. But like we said, big news yesterday. It was reported that Flau'jae Johnson has foregone the WNBA draft and will be back at LSU next season for her senior year. Huge news. It wasn't a very big surprise, I don't think. At least not, especially not for me. I wasn't very surprised she didn't enter her name in the draft because of the amount of money that she can make in college. And I think she loves LSU. And obviously she's in a relationship at LSU with an LSU football player. I don't know how much that played a part in it, but in my opinion, it's huge news for LSU because she was your leader, and you saw such a stride she took from a leadership standpoint this past season, going from, kind of being second fiddle, kind of being Robin to Angel Reese on the court and in the standpoint of just the media coverage and all of it. Now she was the star of the team. Obviously, Anissa Morrow was the All-American, but Flau'jae, from a national media standpoint, was the face of the LSU program. And she goes and has the season she does, where she was your leading scorer. Performed well in that final game. She was the heart and soul of your team. She's the defensive leader. She's the vocal leader. And to be not going into the WNBA draft and coming back is massive. I think, and from a standpoint of, one, she's an extremely skilled and talented player, and you're getting another season of development and growth going into next season where she's going to be your leader. Two, you have this class of freshmen coming in, and this is the part that I'm most excited about. You have this class of freshmen coming in, and one in Zakiya Johnson, who obviously admires Flau'jae. Like every interview she's asked about LSU, she brings up Flau'jae Johnson. She was given a start bench cut with Flau'jae, Page, and Hidalgo from Notre Dame. And she started Flau'jae, bench Page, and cut Hidalgo. And so she obviously has this admiration for Flau'jae, and now she's going to get to be on the practice court and in the locker room. And I believe Flau'jae is going to take on the next role. She stepped up as a leader for the team, and now she's going to go in and grow the youth and the next generation of Tigers like Zakiya Johnson and Divine Barrage and Bella Hines and Grace Knox, these girls that are coming in so highly touted. at LSU, she's going to be there to lead them, to help them understand how to deal with the media, how to deal with everything that goes into being a national champion, playing in SEC championships, playing in the tournament, playing in the PMAC on national TV, the whole deal. She's going to be there to lead them, and to me, that's going to play such a huge role in not only LSU next season, but the future as well. Massive news for LSU to have Flau'jae Johnson forego the WNBA draft because, like I said, she's going to perform on the court. She's going to be a leader off the court, and she's going to set you up well for the future, being able to kind of, inspire this next generation, teach this next generation, guide them as they enter into LSU. She's your player that you're going to put on the best player on defense. She's going to go guard whoever the other team's best player is.
She's energy.com.
100%.
Like, as that team goes, at least this year, and I saw it, maybe, I don't know if like Schwartz didn't want to say it or not, but you saw the changing of the guard last year from Angel
in that
Reese.
UCLA game.
Yep. When Flau'jae was getting the entire huddle together.
Right.
Like, she was the one talking. She was the one barking. She was the one doing leader stuff. And you could kind of see, like, Angel Reese was always in there, but you could see who was the more vocal person at that point, where it felt like Angel Reese was leaving. And Flau'jae, it just kind of, she didn't usurp the moment. It kind of, like, came to her naturally. She's like, I'm the leader of this basketball team right now, and I'm the best player on it. And she gets to come back for another year where, any more thoughts about Kim Mulkey being a bad person? Flau'jae has every opportunity to do whatever she wants. She's headlining any event you want her to go to. She has multiple career opportunities. She chooses to come back and play for Kim Mulkey. Like, that speaks volumes about who she is and what kind of coach she is and what they're trying to build in Baton Rouge. It ain't just one natty. They're looking for another.
Yep. Spectrum WellCare, Noah talking like Big Four definitely back. She's not going in the WNBA draft, and to me, what was it, Lynn? She's not entering the draft, but she's listening to NIL offers to see if she transfers or not. Why would she leave?
She's got too big of a
she is so closely.
They canceled the tour. What tour?
Right.
The World Tour.
She's so closely associated with the LSU brand. Like, you've never seen her. You've never seen her in a uniform that's not LSU, and she's got. I promise you, she's not hurting on the money front.
She takes basketball too seriously now. To go to like whatever you think a NIL deal for a record deal would be. Louisiana's pretty good at music.
Yeah, and she's just fine.
She's just like there's. Do you think it would be harmful to the brand if she went to a different? Like, I could understand a school of thought of let me go expand who I am, my music, like musically, basketball wise.
No, there could always be the conversation. I just think her brand has grown so much
here
at LSU, and
Broom
said it's definitely not certain she's coming back to LSU and will cost a bunch if she does.
Worth it.
Yeah, you pay. You miss out maybe on somebody else in the portal because of the money you give Flau'jae. You pay. I have no concern about the way the staff's going to handle this. And I don't think, and I really, and this is just my hunch. This is not inside information. I don't think she's going to leave. Why would she leave?
I'm not calling a bluff, though.
No, me neither. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, go test it. No. She says that she needs this amount of money to match whoever is reaching out to her.
What's the number?
There's the check.
Now, if it's Michigan going $25 billion, sure. I mean, do what you got to do. They love rap music in Michigan.
Right. Yeah, they're big rap fans in Michigan.
Like the Great Lakes. You could tour all of them, all 8. But, like, she's too... Rep to LSU too hard. And maybe this is the fan in me coming out. But rep to LSU too hard. Like, been here for too long. Built her brand based off of LSU. Has, clearly, we run the commercial every day. Has NIL deals and has her own deals. And her music is synonymous with Louisiana.
Yeah, and if she
goes, good on her.
And if she leaves, I will be right here sitting in this chair, talking this microphone,
but
eating crow.
The thing is, you're not only paying for what she does off the court. She's a good basketball player.
Yeah, she's a good basketball player. I mean,
top 10 in the country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If she was in the portal, you'd try to get her.
Yeah. And so, I mean, people are going to reach out. People definitely reached out after her freshman year. They definitely reached out after her sophomore year. And after this past junior season, they're going to reach out.
Brian Truard, paying a ton of money to a sport that loses millions is certainly a decision, but not my money. It's not.
No, it's not.
And it's bigger than, like, this is a fiscal decision that this is good. We don't have a men's basketball team at the moment.
Right.
You have to have a sport that can carry you through, because that would be 2 fiscal losses.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't going to that. People are going to, it's working at, I understand it, it's working at a negative gain, but the popularity, what you're bringing in, visibility-wise, that you can continue. It's okay to buy low and sell high. You bought low on this, and then you continue to pay for what you're getting, and you're like, yeah, I'll keep buying that stock. Yeah, I'll keep buying that stock, because it only can continue to rise, and then you don't sell high. You just own it.
Right.
And that's what LSU women's basketball is. As long as Kim Mulkey's here, I don't know how much longer it'll be operating at a deficit. It's only getting better. It's only getting more popular.
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's got a girl that can dunk.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, huge news for LSU. I'm not really going to play around too much with the transfer portal. I don't think Flau'jae is going anywhere but Baton Rouge. And if something happens, then I'll sit right here and I'll talk about it then. But in my mind right now, Flau'jae Johnson, I mean, she's not going to the WNBA draft. She's going to be back at LSU next season.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
And it's it's huge for LSU, both now and for the future. Like I said, I mean, you don't think her being on this team is going to move mountains for this freshman class? How fired up they're going to be to be in a locker room, to get featured in one of Flau'jae's TikToks, to get to have her in one of their, like, the whole deal. It's big for LSU. And Mac, people also said, why would Underwood pick Michigan over LSU? That's not going to happen. Money talks. She's made her money. She's going to keep making her money. And she's going to field the offers. Like, everyone fields offers.
And these offers are being reported because they're very much public. And she's one of the most public brands there is. It's going to be news that if another school gives her an NIL offer, guess what their On3 is going to do?
Right.
Oh, talk to Flau'jae about an offer to UCLA, the music capital of the world. She could work with Dr. Dre. She already works with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, give me the Chronic too, buddy.
Come on. And she has been to the mountaintop with LSU. I promise you, she probably wants to get back there with her as the leader. Like, not as the freshman standout, as the leader of that team. So, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this first hour. We will have John Eads to start off hour number 2 to talk some LSU baseball after the big-time performance last night. We will be back with Mr. Eads, and we'll also have Silly Rap, the Black Dress comedy, Black Dress Productions, that we've had her in multiple times to discuss the comedy show. She will be in at 8:30 to preview a special show they have coming up, I think, tonight. And but we'll be back at 8 a.m. with John Eads right after this.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check them out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by Hebert's Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, Hebert's Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. Hebert's can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. Hebert's Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon and get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. And he done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or Get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdown Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdown Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
It's rare to find someone you can count on when it's go time. It's even more rare to find someone you can count on, well, all the time. Well, Sunshine, we're proud to offer the John Deere equipment you need and the team you can depend on and off the field. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
All right, welcome back here as we begin hour number 2 with a very special guest as he has made his way back to the studio for the second week in a row. WAFB's own John Eads is here with us this morning. John, how are you? I appreciate you getting in here with us.
Thanks for having me again. How am I doing? Not as well as Kade Anderson.
That's for sure.
What a night, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that was beyond impressive. Talk to me about, like, just you've obviously been able to cover the team and you got to see the preseason. Like, a lot of people had Chase Shore slated as the Friday night guy, probably preseason, just because he's a guy you had seen a couple years ago. You knew he had good stuff. Kade Anderson takes that role, and I think last night was the blossoming of that's an ace. Like, that is an SEC ace. Did you see that Kade Anderson's coming preseason, like a guy that's able to go out there and perform at that level?
I think so, because he was the guy in the preseason stuff that looked the best. Like, you'd go out to these scrimmages. Lloyd could probably attest to this. You were at some of them too, right? And nobody else was as crisp as Kade was day after day, you know, working through the lineup, striking guys out, just going out and getting back into the dugout quickly. Nobody else was really like that, that I recall. You saw it in spurts, but not time after time again, and that was Kade. And he's gotten really better, it seems like, every week. I know last week was kind of a step back for him, but you think about some of the situations, not to give him any excuses, but short week, you know, you had all the rain stuff going on that week and whatnot as well. And I asked Coach after Tuesday's game, because we didn't have a media availability before the Oklahoma series, you know, what he's seen from Kade the week leading into Oklahoma, and he said he's the best pitcher in the country, which of course he's going to say, but just super confident in what he can do. And you know, I've seen Kade behind the scenes as well, and I have to say he's a really nice guy. Like, he'll talk to you for probably too long, because he's got things to do. Like myself, Koki Riley, Bryce Kuhn, we were in Frisco, and it was the day of, I want to say, the Nebraska game. We talked to him for like 20 minutes just about whatever, you know, off to the side of the field. And eventually we were like, don't you have like somewhere you have to like go, you know, and then like help out and stuff like that? And he was like, yeah, I guess I should probably go. Like, he's just a super nice guy. But behind the scenes, he works extremely hard, you know, in the weight room. So when you see that, and he kind of talks to you about his mentality of the elite standard he holds himself to, like there were some pretty funny sound bites he gave us after, I think, his second appearance of the year, where he had a decent stat line. But he said something to the effect of, when I go out there, I want to strike out, 21 guys or whatever the case may be. So he's never satisfied with what he can do. I hope he was satisfied with what he did yesterday, because that was unbelievable. But he's got the stuff, man. Physically, mentally, he's the complete package, and I think you saw all of that come together for him on Thursday night.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a beyond impressive performance. And to be able, on back-to-back weekends, to win games in that manner, of against Mississippi State on Friday night, you win 2-1, and you get 12 strikeouts from Ianson. And now last night you go win 2-0 in Oklahoma with 14 from Anderson. How impressive is it for this team to be able to go out and win in so many different ways? To be able to go beat Mississippi State last Saturday 17-8 and scoring 8 runs in the first inning, but on Friday night and then last night winning a pitcher's duel in a low-scoring game. And if you tell me, I said it last week, if you would have told me before the game, LSU's only going to score 2 runs tonight, you probably aren't feeling too confident going into that game. How impressive is it that they're able to go out there and win games like that?
Maybe you should now, though, because they've shown you twice, and they'll probably show you some more times this year that they can win a game where they only score 2 runs. And, I think their team is kind of like a computer simulation. Sometimes you might sit there, and I know I did this growing up, like use some of these stupid, computer softwares where you're simulating games to see what would happen. And there's like 100 different ways a game could go, It could be a shootout. It could be, a defensive game. It could be a pitcher's duel, in this case with baseball. And LSU truly has the ability to win all of those kind of games. They beat Mississippi State 8-6. They beat them 17-8, and then 2-1. In this series, they're off to a 2-0 start with the Thursday win. It wouldn't surprise me if they won a game, 9-2 with the offense. Just very complimentary, And there's a lot of doors this team can open. It's just a matter of which one they need to open to win on a specific night. So yesterday it was the Kade Anderson door and the pitching door. They opened that. And then the offense wasn't crisp, wasn't great. Everybody was in long sleeves and the heavy coats. It's interesting place out there in Norman.
Jake Brown looked like he was going to take out Osama bin Laden. He brought that thing from home.
Yeah.
Looked good on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time he's been hunting.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So not a great night for the offense, but in a game like that, just like last week on Friday into Saturday morning, all you needed was a couple of guys to be good in certain spurts. So you'd get a double, a single, boom, easy run.
Right.
You get a double, sack bunt, single, there's a run. And that's all you need, So that's why I like the prospects of what this team can do, because when you get to the regionals, you get to the super regionals, you get to Omaha, that's a lot of games, and it's against a lot of other good teams. So you're going to need to win pitchers' duels. You're going to need to win wacky games that are 10-9, and this team has all the horses to run those races, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very impressive. Talk to me about the growth of Jared Jones. His at-bat to score that first run early in the game was beyond impressive to me, just thinking back to where he was as a freshman, where he's either hitting it out of the park or he's striking out. Now he's hanging around, fouling balls off, extending at-bats, and then pushing one to the other side to score a run and get a base hit. How much has his growth, been a major factor for this team and the way that he's been able to not go to the draft last year, come back and still grow and show that he can do even more?
I think it's been huge, and it's him, but it's also the entire team. Like last night, maybe not a great example, but this year the team collectively has been great with being patient, not chasing, driving up pitch counts, taking long at-bats, and that's what they've really prided themselves on this year. And when they've put up a lot of runs and they've been successful, everybody's doing that. Like, it's a collective buy-in. But Jones specifically, it's definitely not been just feast or famine. Like, he's getting his doubles, he's getting his singles, he's even stealing bases this year. On Tuesday, he got basically every ground ball there was.
Right.
It seemed like.
Man was not afraid. That man was not afraid to not use his glove.
Yeah.
He's bodied up both of them.
Yeah. And there's been situations where guys been running down that first baseline and he's standing there waiting for him, and it'd be sick if he just like decked him,
Just dropped his shoulder.
Because I know he's got
Two
the
meatheads
football
over here.
He's sizing him up like he's ready. And sometimes these guys will try to go under him or around him, and he's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Another meathead that we can add to this list was Mikey. Whenever the man from Mississippi State tried to like slide for the first base and dove out the baseline, and Barrett, like had the opportunity, he's like, oh, he's gonna crush him. And I was like, no, he's not. And he's like, could you imagine?
Hey, we all think
we all want to see it.
Yeah, that's not legal in baseball, right? You can't.
He's out the baseline.
Can you shoulder check someone? You
No,
can't, right?
No, Pete Rose put that away.
Yeah.
When he ruined that man's career in an All-Star
He
game
did,
for
he
no
did.
reason. But hey, we got our own Danny Hustle. Hasn't ruined a career yet, except for a pitcher for Mississippi State.
That's right.
But you talked about a little bit about like Kade Anderson and kind of the belief in the team and all of that. I feel like you're hearing a lot from whether it be belief in everybody around him or like the has a bad start and everybody still believes in him. Or you see William Schmidt have an interview where he talks about the same thing. It's like, they tell me not to worry about it. I feel like this team has gone a long way from 2023, obviously national championship team, have a bunch of guys from Louisiana. Like it felt like throw a penny in a well. You're like, this is what you would want if you're an LSU fan. Like you want a bunch of guys from Louisiana all come together. You get your All-American boy that comes in, and Dylan Cruz, who was the best recruit LSU's ever gotten, and they win a national championship. Then you have the kind of the down year, right? Like in 2024, where there's not so much that's been kind of talked about. Like the camaraderie wasn't there because you lost a lot of those guys, Louisiana guys. This year it feels like it's back on the uptick, whether it's Jay bringing in guys from the portal that are all bought in or him doing a better job of preaching what his message is. Did you notice that early on?
I think so. Everybody just seemed really close and laid back and loose. I don't know. I mean,
It's like they know how good they are.
Yeah. And they're just goofy all the time, man. Like everything's a joke. Like I'll be out there filming warm-ups sometime, and I don't even notice this till I go back and look at my footage. Like Jake Brown will like notice that people are filming him, and he'll like tap someone's shoulder. Like the
get him the old look around.
Yeah,
that's my guy. That's my move.
So they're joking around all the time, but when it comes time to lock in and play, they do that as well. But I think that just makes the entire team better because there's no animosities. You know that at every given time, everybody's bought in, everybody's truly supporting you. And if there was ever a year for everybody not to do that, it'd be this year because of how deep they are. And, it's baseball. Your
Right.
clock's ticking. It's not kind of like some other sports like football where you could play 5-6 years, no consequence, go ball out in the league. Like these guys, given 2 to 3 years, they've got a short window to go and make money. But some of them don't really care about that. And I think this year everybody's taken that collective step back to notice, hey, there's something that we can achieve that's huge here. If we all take care of our responsibilities, whatever they may be, how large or how small. And I think the team collectively has done a great job of understanding that.
And Jay's done a great job of bringing those guys back. Like whether it be the first pitch banquet, I know you were there, where you see like Tommy White come back, Dylan Cruz come back. Like they don't have to do that, but they all have houses in Baton Rouge. They love to train here. They go to Marucci. They do all this stuff because LSU's it's almost like a community where it feels like this travel ball team that won't separate itself. And to have I'm sure they hear from those guys because they're in their ear. If you're a freshman, if you're Derek here, you're like, I'll go talk to Dylan Cruz, or Dylan Cruz will go talk to me. Be like, I'm listening to every word he has to say. So the culture that's being built at LSU, which has been long-standing for LSU baseball, but you still have Kevin Gosman come back, like Alex Bregman comes back. Like to have that, I feel like pays dividends, and for Jay to keep that kind of that tradition going speaks to the volume of what he understands about LSU baseball, and he's gleaned it off of Skip a little bit.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that's the most important thing to do when you're taking
a
job.
fool.
Taking a new job and going somewhere new is understanding and appreciating the history and the culture, because that can only enhance what you do. It's not like you're coming in to create a new thing. This is the way it's always been done. Obviously, you're going to put your own spin on it, but you need to first understand and appreciate that so that you can put your own fingerprints on it.
Kiss the rings.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you do it here?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you'd be a fool.
Yeah.
If you were going to be like, no, hey, I know what Skip built here, I'm going to do it my way. Like, that's not the way to win the favor of the LSU fan base.
Yeah.
And I think Jay has done a phenomenal job of being able to ingratiate himself into LSU community, understanding the history of it, and then also being like the first person I met here was Skip. Like, tell me how to do it.
Exactly.
A little bit. Like, I know how to win, but tell me how to win here. And I think that's the history of it, and you see it pay dividends when you get a guy like Kade Anderson who goes from a midweek guy to a Friday night guy, and I think a lot of that is Nate Yetsky. But he obviously, if you can't blame the head coach, you got to blame somebody. He's gotten a lot of flack lately but then you see a pitching performance like that last night, or Ianson the last 3 times he's thrown. And do you think that that is warranted or not? Because I do not. I think that, yes, he's done a phenomenal job. You've seen the team. You've been behind the scenes and how much they get off of him.
I don't think it's warranted. No,
Yeah.
but, I mean, you know how fans are, and it's not everybody's like that. My brother's like this, though, where one minute he's texting in the group chat, he's like, man, I hate this is not LSU, by the way. This is like, Alabama and Michigan and stuff like that. He's like, I hate
Upper
this
State
team.
New York.
Worst team ever. I'm not watching ever again. And then 5 minutes later, woo!
Best pitcher in America.
Yeah. So, people are just like that. I do want to say this about Nate Yeske. I don't know if you guys saw this, but apparently, and I hope, I saw it on social media, the thing about his father passing away on Thursday, I think, or
yesterday.
Earlier this week. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was announced on Thursday, but I think it was announced on Thursday before, the game.
Yeah. So I just want to give him a major hat tip, and obviously he's in all of our prayers and thoughts and prayers for his ability to still go to work. And, the pitching coach plays a huge role in what happens during the game, the pitches he's calling, the way he's managing Kade, the way he's talking to Jay, the way that he's making sure all the shifts are in the correct place and stuff like that. So that's a lot to think about, while you're also dealing with personal things outside of what's going on in the game. So I just want to give him a major shout out. And, for people that want to sit there and type on the keyboard and say, oh, he needs to be fired, he's terrible, he's this and he's that, just think about, that side of him as well sometimes, especially right now. I think he does a tremendous job. You see the year-to-year improvement of these guys. Like Kade last year wasn't even starting in the second half of the year. He got in for a little bit in Hoover and was making occasional bullpen stints. Now he's going out there and throwing 130-plus pitches, a complete game, a shutout complete game. I mean, how about that for year-to-year improvement?
Right.
I mean, that's just unbelievable. And you're seeing it from other guys as well. I think there's still a little bit to be desired with Chase Shores, but there's plenty of time. And he's coming off an injury. Gage jump. That's all I'm going to say. Look where he was at this time last year to the end of last year. And they're hoping that Chase will make that same kind of jump. Anthony Ianson was awesome last week. So I think he's doing a great job. I don't think the slander is warranted whatsoever. And this team's in a great spot.
Yeah, obviously our prayers with Coach Yeske and his family after that news was announced. My next question is about the rest of the series. How much confidence do you have now that you have one game down and it's a win and you threw one guy and you've got guys like Kason Evans and Zach Cowan still ready to go tonight and tomorrow or however they get played? How much confidence do you have in the remainder of the series after what transpired last night?
Got to have a lot of confidence because typically it's been Anderson and then Cowan's gone on Friday. Now you've got Cowan and Evans for Saturday and Sunday. So you can kind of get, I guess creative, if you want to use that word, with how you handle the last 2 days. If Ianson goes 7, like he did, I think was it 7 last week? He went something like that.
Yeah.
He went for a long time.
I think it was
6. He had 12 strikeouts.
Got it. Okay.
But
into the second.
Kason came in and finished the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
He had his longest outing of the year.
Yes. Which I didn't know he had that in his bag.
Right.
But now we know that, So, you see what you get from Ianson. And by that, I mean, he could dominate. Like he dominated last week. It doesn't have to be 7 innings. That's what you have Cowan and Evans for and the rest of the guys in that bullpen. So see what you can get from him, and then you go from there. You ideally would like to save one of those 2 for Sunday, I would think, because that's been a day where it's kind of been more offensively driven. But to have one of those 2 guys coming out of the pen on Sunday, I mean, that is quite a blessing.
If you could save one.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about it during the show. We opened up the hour with it. I hate to say it sets up for a sweep, but if you do it right and the way that they want to be doing it and everybody plays their role, I think LSU bangs tonight. I think they're going to score. If they're able to play, I think they're going to score a ton of runs because you got their best bullet last night and you were still able to scratch across 2, and your biggest guys showed up. Luis Hernandez continues to be a dog. When you saw him, and people were skeptical about him, and I was telling Noah, we talked about him with Jared Mitchell, where he's like, that guy, you didn't bring him in for no reason. You brought him in for his bat because there's a world where Jared Jones doesn't exist.
Right.
And you got him before Jared Jones announced or didn't announce. And now that he's playing catcher, you expect some of those numbers to drop off. But if he's able to play the way he is right now, where it's doubles in the gap and homers, How do you see this lineup shaking out? I don't think there's a miss in it.
I don't think so either. That was kind of the thing with Luis. He was a DH last year, hit 23 bombs, had catching experience though. And yeah, if Jared stays, that kind of affects things in terms of where he plays. But so they knew the bat was there. The question was, could he catch at an SEC level? I think he's just about there. And then how would that affect his offense? Maybe in the beginning of the year it did a little bit, but now he's coming into form. He's finding out how to manage maybe the energy level or the focus, whatever it is, where he needs to just compartmentalize for 3 hours what he needs to do on both sides of the plate, and he's doing a great job of that. He was their guy yesterday, really.
Mm-hmm.
I know he didn't get knocked in. Or was he the one that scored on the
Stanfield?
Okay,
Yep.
there you go.
Stanfield shot one the other way.
Yeah. that was huge. That's the thing about the lineup. Like, to your point, are there any misses? I don't think so, because yesterday you got your production from Derek and Jared, which you're going to get pretty much every game, right? That on-base streak continues for DC.
Every game.
We're calling him DC now.
Oh, no. Oh,
no
pressure.
That's the initials they call
There
him.
you go.
That he's done it. So there you go. He's looked like DC, I'd say, through 30-some-odd games. Looking good. But you move throughout the lineup. Ethan Fry's looked great in that cleanup role recently. I know it was Milam last night. Josh Pearson's had his moments. Jake Brown has been excellent at that 5 or 6 spot, wherever you want to put him. And then, maybe the one spot you have debate about is third base, whether you put Reeves or Braswell in. Reeves has been great when he's been in there. Braswell's been efficient, doing what the coaches need him to do. But top to bottom, yeah, it's an excellent lineup. And on any given day, any portion of that can have an excellent day. And on some days, like last Saturday, everybody's hitting, and you put up 17 runs, So that's the biggest thing in terms of, are they going to sweep, they're going to win this series. You love how the pitching matchup sets up, but obviously, you can't win a 0-0 game, so you need the offense to produce. They did just enough yesterday. I'd like to see them respond today better. A lot of guys hitless, and struck out a decent amount. So I'd like to see them get back on base via the walk, via hits. And this team has a knack for doing that. They might have a bad outing, but they respond immediately. They lose a game, they score 10 runs in the first inning of the next one, and vice versa. So typically what you'll see is against an ace, they'll struggle the first couple innings, not always, but sometimes. And then about the 4th, 5th inning, they make some of those adjustments. And they did when they scored the run off the Stanfield single.
Typically when they see them twice, like the second time through the lineup,
Right.
whether it be Bear Jones or Curiel, who, like I was saying earlier, whether he struck out or not in the first at bat, which he did, but he saw 6 pitches. That does numbers for you in terms of the lineup being able to. You got to see 6 different pitches, or see how the velo runs on the fastball multiple times, and then whenever they turn that lineup over again, and Bear Jones is up the second time, it's like, I know what you got.
He's got it.
Yeah.
And we didn't see that yesterday. But they didn't necessarily need it. You hope you see it in game 2 here. So that's what you're looking at, I guess.
Yeah.
Wake the bats up again, and the pitching matchup sets up well. Now you just got to go out and execute the plan.
There you go. We appreciate your time this morning, getting in here, joining us once again. John Eads from WAFE. Make sure you follow him on all the social media platforms. Great content, great coverage he has coming out. Once again, we appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Hopefully,
we got one quick one for you from the chat.
Okay.
Andrew Messina, ask Eads, your Eads now, on what he's seeing from LSU football throughout spring camp.
Yeah. Well, it's been a little while because they didn't have practice last
thing
Friday.
we saw was Josh Williams carved out of granite.
Yeah, seriously. that was unbelievable.
Hear a pin drop.
Yeah. So happy for him. He certainly deserves all of that, and I hope someone gives him an opportunity. I hope the Detroit Lions give him an opportunity.
He's going to be a bingle.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's been a while, so I'm looking forward to getting back out there. But liking what I'm seeing, looking forward to seeing it in Tiger Stadium. That's going to be fun to see how they're looking, this kind of the projected starters against the projected starters. But I think it's a great team. I think this team has everything it needs to be a college football playoff team, not just a contender, a team. Now it's all about putting the right pieces together. So I think nothing but positivity there. And I was going to say this. I hope tonight we see a lot of balls go to the Yeti yard.
Yeah, here we go with 50 scouts in the stands.
Bro, I picked up on that too. Every single time Texas hit a home run, even if it wasn't to yard, even if it was to right field.
What do you think about that, Rocket?
It's unbelievable.
it's probably going to find a way into the Yeti yard.
Yeah,
They must have a deal where they got to say Yeti.
Roger Clemens is never going back in that.
No,
booth.
he might not live in Texas anymore.
No, he left.
You've spent time in the Northeast. Drew Aller. Aller?
Terrible. Garbage.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
Thank you.
He's awful.
He's ranked above
It's
Nuss in
unbelievable.
everything.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm a Big Ten guy. I grew up a Michigan fan. So I've watched this guy for years. I watched him in their playoff game. I don't understand, like, on the broadcast, like, oh, this guy's made such great improvement. There was a 5-yard duck into the grass. I don't get the
If you're going to put the game in anybody's hands, it's him. Pick
Why?
six.
Yeah, he's terrible, bro. He didn't win them their game against SMU either. Their quarterback lost them that game.
Early.
Yeah, no, he's
okay. Good.
You'll see. You'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just he was like the #1 recruit out of high school.
Right.
And all this.
He's like the highest rated player to ever make it to Penn State,
Yeah,
and so
he's
been
not that guy. He's like Christian
overblown.
Hackenberg. So.
Yeah, because the ESPN article came out with the top 10 returners, and it was Klubnik, Aller, Nussmeier at 3.
Those people aren't watching film. If they are watching
you go.
film, they only watch the A&M game and made Nuss's stuff based on that. So
Right.
That's whatever. He doesn't release the barrel. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that.
he doesn't release the barrel. That's for sure. But
Mikey and Jared are like, this has gotten way too much. We're like, y'all
yeah,
did
it's
this.
everywhere.
Just gotta keep it going at this point.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I said.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious.
Play into the bit.
100%.
That and the Yeti yard.
Oh, but that's mine. If I could murder one man, that you never. No, I don't think I've ever been that. Back.
Yeah.
I love Lynn Rollins, and
Yeah.
Lynn's great. I don't think any opposing fan has ever been like, who cares? Like the train. Okay, if that's his worst bit, it's not.
Right.
How you Rocket?
Rocket. Right, what do you think about him, Rocket?
You think he's pretty good? I think he's pretty good.
Think about
Oh
that
my
pitch.
God.
It was unbelievable. It was terrible.
I'll never get over it.
It ruined the game.
It ruined my life.
But once again, we appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks for
We'll do
having me,
this
guys.
again soon.
Yeah.
Just make it a weekly.
Yes,
if you
we
can.
might as well. You'll do it every Friday? Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
I can do that.
Do it weekly with Johnny. It's every Friday at 8 a.m. So make sure you're
we need
tuned
to get
in
him
every
in
week.
for Sports Connections too.
An athletic connection.
Athletic Connections.
Yeah, well, that would be
Yeah,
good.
it has to be
I
sports.
feel like that's
'cause
cheating.
Yes.
The actual connections, I'm so bad, bro.
Yeah, we struggle there too.
I'm awful.
The chat's great at it. Like
Yeah.
it helps when we have the however many people in the chat giving us the answers.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back with more of the Culotta Show after this.
Only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdown Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history of Gus Piazza. Took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdown Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
It's rare to find someone you can count on when it's go time. It's even more rare to find someone you can count on, well, all the time. At Sunshine, we're proud to offer the John Deere equipment you need and the team you can depend on and off the field. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done link with Big Four. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm a Gordon. I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
All right. Once again, we have a very good friend of the show joining us to promote some upcoming productions. As Gloria Passman joins us again this morning, we appreciate you getting in here. And she brings her 2 bodyguards with her as well here in the background to promote as well. How are you? We appreciate you getting in here this morning.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us on the show. We always like to come back and talk to the Jordy Culotta Show and all your fans. So, yeah, we're very happy to be here. Lots of stuff going on. I just wanted to make sure that, everybody knows, because sometimes it's hard to get the word out, and we're all about laughter and fun, and we think everyone needs it. So we want to make sure everybody knows about it.
Yeah, over at Black Dress Productions, your mission statement, the mission of Black Dress Productions to put local performers on stage for ticket-buying audiences and pay the artists, venues, and supporting crews. A wealth of talented and creative people live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and surrounding areas. Providing opportunities to showcase their immense efforts and skills is what energizes and motivates Black Dress Productions.
That's right.
We back up our mission with our efforts, time, and money.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful mission statement there.
Thank you.
What do y'all have coming up soon here in April?
We do. In fact, Saturday, and I'm going to let Kenny take over here. Saturday is Kenny's show at the Silly Rabbits. So I want to let him talk about that.
Yeah, we have big show coming up at the Silly Rabbit Saturday night. It is doors open 7:30. Show starts at 8. It's gonna be my first time headlining in this perfect venue.
There we go.
Right there on Airline Highway in front of the bowling alley. When people ask, there's only one bowling alley in Baton Rouge. Right? Come on. You know where it is. But yeah, we'll be there. I will be headlining. I will be featuring my good friend Brandon Bruffett here, last minute addition to the show. And we are definitely we're gonna light the house up. So yeah, man, y'all pull up, come see about it.
Yes, yeah. Brandon, is this your first time?
This is my first time on the Jordy Culotta Show. Yes,
oh well, yes. What about at the Silly Rabbit?
Oh, the Silly Rabbit. No, I actually produced a show with Red Bean and Joke and Brady there. That's been about a month and a half or two months ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's the good stuff coming up. Talk about just kind of introduce yourselves, y'all's past in comedy, getting here now. Just kind of let everyone know who you are and what to expect from you.
Go ahead, Brandon. My name is Brandon Bruffett. I started doing comedy in 2018 in Chicago at the world famous Second City. Since then, I have moved all around the country. I've gone all the way to California and made it back to I was a resident in New Orleans for a long time. My home club there was Comedy House New Orleans. And about a little over a year ago, I moved up here and linked up with these two miscreants, and it has been
fit right in.
and we've just been we've just been killing things together ever since. I wanted to be a part of what Gloria had going on with Mid City Live. So I kind of just interjected myself into that. I remember seeing her outside of Boomerang Comedy Theater one day, and I was like, hello. She didn't know I was there by design, but I was. And then, Kenny, I've known for a while. He's definitely one of my favorite Baton Rouge comics. So for me to come up here and really instantly be embraced by the top comics in Baton Rouge is quite a thrill for me, man. I love working with these guys.
And so I'm just Kenny. Started doing comedy so long ago, I kind of forgot what year it was. I always base it off my daughter's age. I'm like, okay, 2008 plus like 5. So somewhere around 2012, 2013. Comedy's just one of those things, man. Like as a kid, I just got into comedy because I did not go to your typical predominantly black school. I kind of went to the all black school, and this was like the easiest way to stay out of trouble. You could make them laugh, buddy. You kind of got them. But no, like I started doing comedy back then, and some of my motivations when I first started, we had people like Will Merrill, Mike Honoré, Howard Hall, who were like absolute Baton Rouge legends and above now. There was no social media. Like you had to come to shows, and I think that's what fed the passion, because it was like instant gratification, and it just grew, got better and better, and here we are still doing comedy, man. We don't take no breaks. There's no weekends and no holidays for comedy.
There's no season for it.
Right.
No season.
I have a question real quick, because you said there was no social media when you started, and it feels like, is that good or bad for the brand? Because you've seen, like, whether it be people pulling their phones out or trying to heckle or try to do something because they want to put themselves out there. Yeah. Do you think it was better or worse when there was no real social media?
I'm gonna be honest. I think social media,
because you got to come correct.
Well, yeah, but back then you had so many people saying, I want to do it, but I'm just not going to try it. So they wouldn't know if they were actually good or if they, they're terrible. They didn't know. So they didn't know that they had the option to go up there. And I think in this age of technology and social media, man, you have so many people who, they're more popular than they are funny. Mm-hmm. And so they get a bigger following, but when you get raw talent that comes up there, it's immediately recognized. Right. You can weigh it against, social media, and you really see the winner every time. So I think overall it's a great thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's good and bad. Right now, everybody thinks they can do comedy, so I think you have maybe more quantity, but not necessarily the quality is there.
Yeah, because you see, like, people that, or like you talk about, like, it's quote-unquote, like, influencers, right? Like, they get viral clicks. Like, this isn't funny, but it is, like, you see, like, do terrible skits in, like, a Walmart. Like, throw something at somebody. You're like, this isn't funny. And it has 1.5 million views in a day. Yeah. And it's almost kind of, I would say, a slap in the face to actual comedy.
But at the same time, looking at what it can do, you get people like us who can get our message to more people than we ever would have been able to before. So, I mean, you take the good with the bad. You just have to, when the light's on you, you gotta make it dance.
Unfortunately, you got to go in a department store and throw something at somebody to get those views.
I tell people
to get to your real content.
In Baton Rouge, we are all one solid misdemeanor away from being viral. Like if we do the right one, man, they'll be like, "That's that comedian that robbed the Chase." Like,
I just got to be more careful than the others because I'm already a 2-time felon. So,
that's why you had to get around here.
Yeah, I got to let Kenny take the lead on that, and then Gloria's got to be our lookout. So.
Yeah, I'm no snitch. I'll come bail you out, but I'm not a snitch.
You are a real one.
I'm gonna add that to the mission statement. I will, if you're funny enough, I will come and bail you out for the misdemeanor that you get or the felony.
Yeah. Also, disclaimer: I will not bail you out, but I will put something on your books.
And turns out Kenny is a snitch. He will jump around.
Oh, I told her. Falsehood.
Not a snitch.
But you say, like, if you're funny enough, right? And so, do you have open mic nights or anything like that you do that aren't I don't want to say scripted, but that are planned, like that aren't like big events where you have people come in and that you front with your production company?
I don't front one, although I'm talking to a venue right now about doing that through Black Dress Productions. But there's one every Sunday at the Boomerang Comedy Theater. I think it starts at 4:30 or 5. There is at the Boomerang on Sunday. Yeah. There is a new one at, I have to say it on there, Cock Chicken.
No, it's KOK.
Oh, it's of course I'm going to call it Cock.
Of course,
I'm always going to call it Cock. Yeah. Cock Chicken. All right. On what is that? Twice a month.
That is on Government Street.
Government Street.
At KOK Wings, right?
Yeah, the Electric Depot.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
Depot,
our good friend Jay Thibodeau, nicest person in the world, runs that through 225 Theater Collective. What other mics?
I also do one the last Thursday of every month at Brickyard South. It's called the Hit with a Brick Open Mic.
Yes.
I encourage anybody that does or wants to try comedy, or even just wants to see what kind of talent's in Baton Rouge. Like the great thing about my mic is that it is a comics mic largely. It is seasoned comedians that are, for the most part, that are coming in and trying their stuff. So it differs a little bit from the average open mic. And then there's also there's a regular, the longest running mic in the city is at the station. But
I didn't know about that one.
Oh yeah, I've had to have a buddy who lost fantasy football go out there and do a 5-minute.
And that's why we don't like that place.
I know.
He lost a bet and got up there and just stunk it up for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But I do like the Brandon's mic is different than the two, because the Wednesday mic, everybody says, "Oh, you did a great job," but everybody doesn't do a great job, and I think it is important to tell them.
Yeah, I feel like you get a truer reading, really, at my mic, because at Brickyard South, you're sitting there with a lot of regulars.
Right.
Like it can quickly turn into a chaos room where if you're not funny, you're not going to hold the attention of the audience, and that is your gauge of whether what you're doing is working or not.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of. I'd imagine you all have seen this as comedians. Like I've seen like Kill Tony. Noah's seen this on YouTube, where it turns into. It's almost like an old school like rap battle. Like if you're not good, you have a panel of people that have done this for years, and it's like, oh, you think you can do this, and then you get interrupted, kind of like, where are you going with the joke? And if you crush, you have an opportunity to go on tour or do something like that. Have y'all thought of doing anything similar?
Well, so I've kind of created for 2025. I started kind of an ecosphere for my own productions. I have the open mic, which I will use. We do a crowd favorite on that open mic, so that crowd favorite is the feature for the next month. If you do well as the feature doing that 10-minute set, then I have a competition show called Gun Control that is the third Friday of every month at Boomerang Comedy Theater, where it's more for newer talent. It's a 4-man competition. I bring in 4 comics and give the entire crowd Nerf guns.
Let's say how many guns.
I give them Nerf guns, and if they tell a joke you don't like, feel free to shoot them in the face.
Not the face.
No, the face. I give them safety goggles. You can shoot them directly in the face. That's what if your aim is good enough. And then the winner of that moves on to a 15-minute set in a feature show called Survival Skills. And then I also host two 4-man shows where every comic does 20 minutes. And that's really kind of what I'm aiming at with my productions is I want a headline. I want folks like us that have the time to be able to do 45 minutes with a 15-minute feature and a 10-minute opener, like classic comedy shows. We really don't have those opportunities around here. But if we can build up the local comics to, stretch out and do 20-minute sets, do 30-minute sets, do 40-minute sets, then we can do those classic comedy shows and then take those shows on the road as a whole package.
It's incredibly hard to get sustained good stuff for that long. Right. It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice.
People can go up there for a minute, and you could have one joke that you think crushes that you've heard before and try to get up there and do it, and you'll forget it. Yeah. Like for a minute, when you say 5, that's long. When you say 15, you better have your stuff, and that's why it's such a hard skill to have.
It really is.
Which helps me segue into Laughs on the Low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
Look,
this is great.
I don't know if I'm sure I speak for all of us, but this has been a real coup. That when we presented this idea to the Tunnel, they did not want us, and we have been undeniable and persistent since its genesis, and now here we are.
Yeah.
And I will say that is absolutely the sexiest venue in Baton Rouge. There's no doubt about it. It's intimate. It's right there. The comedy is in your lap. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a great place to bring a date. It's super adult, like Kenny says, super sexy, high class, unless we're there, of course. No, but yes, the Tunnel is a beautiful venue. If you haven't seen it, you know the Tunnel BR. I think it's called the TunnelBR.com or the Tunnel.com. It's got pictures posted. They do a lot of stuff there, but this is our third comedy show. We did one last year, and then New Year's Eve we were there for two shows that were fantastic. And then Good Friday, April 18th, we're back. Yes, two shows. I know.
Writes itself.
I know.
You're back.
Good Friday. I think after that it'll be maybe called Godless Friday after that. But yeah, that's going to be a great show. So the lineup is sensational. Barry Abear, these two, myself, and Mighty King. This will be her first time at the Tunnel. She's a great addition to our show. So the tickets are pretty reasonable. They're $25 each, and that comes with, you know, some light bites.
A gun?
No.
No gun. No guns at this one, yes. And the drinks, you know, they have these specialty speakeasy cocktails that are so fancy.
Steamy drinks.
Yes, they
it's
like,
weird when
yeah,
you tell
they.
people where it is. You're like, yeah, there is a bar under the Hilton. And
Right.
people are like, wait, what? Like, yeah, no, you open a bookshelf. It sounds like a fever dream.
It
Right.
does.
Like you put in a code, you open the bookshelf, and
Yes.
then you go into the bookshelf.
Yeah.
And that's where the club is.
And it's down there. It's
pretty
down
cool.
in the basement. So yeah, Silly Rabbit tomorrow for Kenny and Brandon. That's going to be a great show. The Tunnel on the 18th. That's going to be a fantastic show as well. And tickets are. I know tickets are selling. I got an update earlier in the week,
Where
so
do they
they're moving
go
well.
to get those tickets?
Go to the Tunnel website.
TheTunnelBR.com.
Yes, and then you're going to see. Does it say
Laughs on
speakeasy
the Low.
events?
Yeah, it's got
and it's called
events on it.
Laughs on the Low. And if
There
you
you
just
go.
go to, it's not Eventbrite. It's a different site.
Seven
Seven.
something.
Yeah, but it's right there, housed, you know, in the Tunnel website. So, or you can go to Black Dress Productions Facebook page, or my Facebook page, Gloria McConnell Passman, and there, you know, it's posted all over there. We're going to be doing some more promos starting next week, because one of a really great comedian who used to live in Baton Rouge, Justin Baker, who was part of the original Mid-City Live crew.
He was actually my best man in my wedding.
And he was Kenny's best man. So yeah, we're, you know, tight. He's in town from Seattle. And so when I found that out, I'm like, dude, you got to come. So he's doing a guest spot at the early show at the Tunnel. So anyone that remembers Justin Baker and how fantastic he was, he's going to be at the show at the Tunnel. So I'm very excited about that. He adds an element that I think, you know, we talk about people being unique, and maybe that word is overused, but for Justin in particular, I don't think there's anybody else like him in terms of comedy. He's a young white dude, but he doesn't joke about his dick, or he doesn't joke about people thinking he's gay. I mean, it's none of that, you know,
It's
trite
actual comedy.
crap.
Right.
It's extremely smart and different. So yeah, Justin Baker
Highbrow.
alone. And not even highbrow, just
It's mid-brow.
it's
mid-brow. It's just the subject matter is just a little different. His
Yeah.
delivery is
Delivery is
fantastic.
It is.
Justin
It is.
has the ice cold delivery of a full-fledged psychopath.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, imagine if Michael Myers
It's
talked.
intimidating and funny, and I can't, like, I haven't seen him in a while. I'm really excited. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of his replacement in Mid-City Live, and as kind of like the go-to white boy for like black events, if you will. So like, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if we have to duel at some point during his visit, but I'm really excited that Justin's back. Like, I'm excited that he's gonna do a guest spot
Yeah.
on the Tunnel.
Justin,
I
if
did
anybody
ask him
puts
if he
sugar in your gas tank while you're in town, it's probably Brandon. Yeah.
I definitely asked Justin to feature first.
That's
you
fucked up.
He wasn't in town, man. But hey, man, you're good.
Thank you.
What-
You're funny.
One last one, real quick, before we obviously shut down at 9. But
Mm-hmm.
one last one. Isn't this the Tunnel where y'all had to kind of pitch yourself? Like, you had to make sure that the event could happen. They didn't really want to do it. You're like,
Correct.
believe in me. Like,
Right.
we have
That's what we
something
did.
good here.
That's right.
The work
Yes,
speaks
Brandon
for
and some of
itself.
his business partners actually, balled for the show. And so we proved to them, like we put that first show on ourselves and proved to them, look, we're funny, this works, it's a great venue for what we do. And after that, they said, okay, we want you back. And that was the New Year's Eve show. And now after that one, they're like, let's have a partnership. So conventions, associations that are doing conventions, companies that want to do a very special Christmas party or celebration for their employees, adults only though, it's a fantastic place to go because it's going to be a night that it's a special night. It's going to be great for date night. You get down there, everybody's sexy, the jokes are flying, the alcohol's flowing, people getting
married,
people getting horny. So
it's
a
the one
great
time where
place.
comedy might actually get you laid. Like straight up.
It's good.
That's right.
But yes, blackdressproductions.com is in the chat, and also the tunnelbr.com is where you can go find those tickets.
Yeah.
Silly Rabbit tomorrow night.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yep.
Saturday night at 7:30.
Saturday night, 7:30, and then April 18th, Laughs on the Low at the Tunnel.
And if you got anybody on the North Shore, tonight in Mandeville, Chafuncta Brewery, there's like 5 of us, myself, Mike Honore, Josh Watts, about 2 or 3 other comics, man. We're going to be doing it on the North Shore tonight. We got all kind of stuff coming up. Stay plugged in.
Yes.
Yeah, you can follow Brandon Bruffett on Instagram and Facebook.
Follow me home. I need company, man.
Yeah, just Kenny, all of us on our personal pages too, and we all often cross post for each other because we know the importance of the community of Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
community.
and I think the Facebook page is what y'all is the most active. I'd imagine. I just went through it. There's everything posted that you're already here.
Yes.
So I think if you want to get in touch with any of these guys, any of these gals, that's where I would go first. So, but thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank
in.
you so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
All right, well, we'll be right back after this to close it out. All right, great stuff. That was.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdowns Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdowns Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
It's rare to find someone you can count on when it's go time. It's even more rare to find someone you can count on, well, all the time. At Sunshine, we're proud to offer the John Deere equipment you need and the team can defend on and off the field. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Dang it. All right, great stuff today. Great stuff from John Eads at WFB as he came and hung out with us. That'll be a regular as he's killed it 2 weeks in a row now. Obviously, Gloria McConnell-Passman and her crew, Kenny and Brandon passing through. That was great stuff as well. Glimmer said it well. Hard to not be in a good mood today. It was a good show this morning. We appreciate y'all coming hanging out with us. We're going to close it out here with some athletic connections, see if we can keep the good vibes rolling through.
I'm going to tank it.
Do what?
I'm going to tank it on purpose.
Please don't. Don't ruin the – we're about to go into a great weekend. Don't ruin it. So
I really do like the good vibes today.
Yes, yeah, like we're 100%.
I think it's probably we have to. I guess we have Kade Anderson to thank because I just.
Yes, he said
it was like a fever dream.
Yeah. Well, I came in on a high this morning of
Flage
135 pitches and 14 strikeouts.
How do you think he feels? Great.
Great. And one more thing before we get to the connection. Don't forget to make sure you're following me and Lloyd on personal accounts, on personal social media, at Noah B. Tingle, at LCourt357, just to stay up to date on any things. There's a lot of things moving and shaking now, and we're working on a lot of fun things for you guys, and really exciting for us to create more content and more things outside of just 7 to 9. Make sure you're following our personal accounts to stay up to date. So you know when to expect things. At Noah B. Tingle, at LCourt357. Keeps you up to date on everything. And you can interact with us even more outside of 7 to 9. So we'll close it out here with some athletic connections. But just wanted to get that out there before we close it out and head into the weekend. But I saw some logos on this connection here that were a little confusing. Yep. Appreciate it, Lloyd. Good job putting that. Follow us or no? A little far. But fair enough. But yeah, make sure you give us a follow. Stay up to date with us. Let's see what we got here. Longhorns. All right, so let's go Bruins. Longhorns.
What's your angle?
Oh, never mind. Raptors, Clippers.
If this is just 4 logos, I'm going to be pissed.
There's no way. There's no way. Because 3 are college logos, and one's a Spurs logo. Oh, Raptors, Spurs, Clippers, San Diego State.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
I saw him play on vacation one time, and that's when I knew my uncle knew ball.
Yep.
Because I didn't know who he was. I was 8.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Raptors, Spurs,
Clippers, and then San Diego State.
That's where I saw him play.
Yep. That should be Kawhi Leonard. Let's go.
Or teams Kawhi Leonard hasn't played for.
Bust, dud, failure, disappointment. Shout out to Brian Burgess in the chat. In the chat.
Are we sure? What about bracket? Bust your brat. Yeah, okay, I'm kidding. Bust, dud, failure, disappointment.
And then we'll go.
Oh, it's my middle name.
Longhorns, Gamecocks, Bruins, Huskies. That's the Final Four for women's basketball.
That kind of hurts.
It does. That Bruins.
Well, we had
should be
Jamar
a
Chase
Tigers.
and Justin Jefferson.
We did.
It didn't have anything to do with LSU, actually, but
Right.
it did.
And then Eyeball Internet Horseshoes bracket.
It doesn't even matter.
Ends in a piece of tennis equipment. Yep. There we go.
Horseshoes and tennis?
I have no idea.
Doesn't matter. Process of elimination,
There
folks.
we go. Make it happen. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Like we said, great show. Great stuff from everybody in the chat. We'll be back on Monday to recap a fun weekend of LSU baseball. And men's Final Four, women's Final Four, the whole deal. We'll be back on Monday to talk about it all. We appreciate you guys. Love you. Shout out to Kade Anderson. Once again, the legend himself.
You should put some 2 pencils in his eye holes.
Oh, yeah? Oh, check that out. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back on Monday, 7 to 9. Later.
Shove.
Anthony Einson. Take us to the promised land.